Okay, so on that piece of graph paper I just passed out, okay, go ahead and draw a y-axis. That's an up and down number line. And an x-axis, left and right number line for me. Make sure it's on the graph paper lines itself. Okay. I'm going to go up to +4. I'm going to put some numbers here. And then -4 on the x-axis. I got -4, -3. Do that with me. Let me go -1 up to -4 on the y-axis down here. This is -2, -3, -4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So far, so good.
You're up to 4?
Yeah. Obviously, it goes on forever. That's what the arrows mean. But we'll just, for our picture right now, we'll just go up to 4 for our, on the number line, just to specify the number line. And I'm doing that more for the newer students who just showed up, just in case you guys forgot where the negatives and positives are for each number line. This is your x-axis here, and the up and down number line is your y-axis. I'm trusting you remember that as we start writing this in. I'll give you about a minute to copy that down. So we plotted a point at -3, 2, plotted a point at 2, 2, drew a line to them. All right, now, the distance between both points. In other words, what's the distance between one end of the line to the other end of the line? Well, anyone want to take a crack at it? What's the distance between here and here? How many units is it between? 5 units. Let's see. All I gotta do is count them, right? Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So on your note, we're going to put distance equals 5 units. Easy sleazy. That's pretty basic. All you gotta do is just count the numbers, right? You gotta just count the units, the boxes. By the way, on my graph paper, I'm going by every 2 to equal 1 unit. Okay? You can do it however you want on your graph paper, it doesn't matter. But every 2 squares, I'm making 1 unit, which means right here is 0.5, like half. Right here is 1.5. Here's 2.5. Just so you know. I don't want you getting confused here. All right, so that was easy. Finding the distance between one end and the other, just count the units. Straightforward. But what if you had this? Go and draw me another x and y axis. Anywhere on the paper, front or back, doesn't matter. It's your graph paper. Go and draw another y axis, please. And an x axis. Draw some numbers. Again, I'm going every 2 boxes is going to be one unit. Okay, you could do it differently on your graph paper. You want to just go every 1 box is 1 unit. Knock yourself out. So -1, -2. We're going to draw an x and y axis. So now, go ahead and draw one point at 4, -1. 4, -1 right here. I'm going to put the coordinates. Look at 4, -1. And then draw the other end of the line segment at 2, 3. 2, 3 is right here. Let me connect that with a line. Do that with me. The distance formula. Here we go. Go to write distance formula. Distance between 2 points equals, here we go. We got 2 points here, A and B. So what's the distance between them? Watch this. I'm going to write the formula right now. You're going to write it with me. Again, it looks scary than it actually is. It's very easy. Watch. It's the square root. Now, if you forgot what square root means, I'm going to go over that right now, so don't stress. Well, you should have seen square root somewhere on your math career prior to this class, but if not, it's not a big deal. It's very easy. It's the square root of what? Watch this. X sub 2, veteran students, you already know that sub 2 stuff. We did that last week. Remember, those are just placeholders. X sub 2 minus now X sub 1. Put that in parentheses, and then square that puppy. Take it to the second power. Plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1, take that to the second power. That's it. There's your formula. Rocking and rolling, rolling and rocking. So let me plug in Chug right now. And you follow along with me with one example, and then you can go off into your ed puzzle. Watch this. So new students, whenever you see X sub, like a substitute teacher, sub means underneath. X sub 2, X sub 1. Those have to do with the X coordinates. Look at the 2 points here. This was X, this is Y. This is X, this is Y. All right? X and Y, X and Y. That's what the X's and the Y's mean here. So what I'm going to do is assign subscripts first. I'm going to assign my 2's and my 1's right now. That's the first thing I'm going to do, so I can plug them in this formula, this recipe, so to speak. Remember, a formula is just like a recipe. All right, here we go, watch. I'm going to make these my 1's. Look at the 2 and 3, I'm going to make my X1 and Y1. And the 4, negative 1 is going to be my X sub 2 and Y sub 2. It could have been either way, it doesn't matter. I could have made these my 2's up here and these my 1's, it doesn't matter. What does matter though is for a given point, they both have to have the same subscript. So these little numbers are subscripts. New students. Veteran students, you already know that. But there's they're like placeholder numbers that you put stuff in. Let's rock and roll, watch. So the distance then is the square root. We're gonna use a calculator right now, so you don't have to worry about doing square roots in your head if you don't know how to do square roots. We're gonna let the calculator do the work shortly, but let's just plug in Chug for now. What would be my X sub 1, Robles, the way I have it set up so far? Or my X sub 2 rather, X sub 2. So here's my 2 points right over here on the left. Which one's my X sub 2?
Well, the 4.
Nice, there it is. Look at X sub 2. I assigned that X coordinate, the two subscripts. So here we go. 4 minus my X sub 1 is right up here, the 2. Put that parenthesis, square that puppy, plus nice, Y sub 2.
Or 1. I mean.
Negative 1, yeah, got you. Negative 1 right here. Watch this. Minus Y sub 1 is going to be 3. Square that puppy.
Solve.
Let's simplify now. We're going to simplify doing the parentheses first. Let's do what's in parentheses first. Here we go. Remember with junior high you learned that. Watch this. So in parentheses here, 4 minus 2, I want to say is 2. My coffee has kicked in, and I'm going to square that. Plus negative 1 minus 3. Last week, veteran students, we worked on integers, negative and positive numbers. Keep, change, change. Now look at keep, change, change. So I got a negative plus more negative. See negative 1?
Subtract and keep.
That's when we're adding and the signs are different, but the signs are same here, so you add and take the sign of both numbers. So this will be a negative 4. Square. Notice the second part doesn't just disappear. So far, so good. I'll stop there. Questions? Let's keep going. Here we go. Two to the second power means 2 times itself. Let me off to the side here. 2 to the second power means 2 times 2. It means that times itself. So this 2 times 2 is going to be 4, huh? Okay. What about -4 times itself? Let me come up here. -4 to the second power means -4 times -4. Careful. Negative times a negative is a what? Okay, so it's positive 16. We worked on it last week. Rocking and rolling. Question so far? Now 16 plus 4 is 20. So now I'm going to take the square root of 20. The square root means what number times itself becomes 20. In other words, if you had like the square root of 4, that's asking what number times itself becomes 4. That's what the square root means. Well, we know 2 is, huh? 2 times 2 is 4. But what number times itself becomes 20 is over here. What number times itself becomes 20? There is no number. Let's let the calculator do it. Let me go to desmos.com. I'm going to put this link on C26, the assignment for today. Let me do it right now since I'm on the topic. I'm going to put the link to this calculator so you can just click on this. Let me put it right here on C26 for you guys. Put it right there. There's a link to the calculator on C26 just so you know. That's what I'm using right now. So let me come back over here. Look what I'm going to do. Square root button's right there. Square root of 20. The calculator gives me this nasty number, 4.47, blah, 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 infinite decimal. We're just gonna approximate to the nearest 10th, the first decimal. Look at the first decimal is the 10th place, that 4. I look to the right of that 4. If it's 5 or bigger, that 4 turns into 5. If the number next to the 4 is not 5 or bigger, then the 4 just stays a 4. But that 7 is 5 or bigger, so that 4 becomes a 5. So the distance then, look at, coming back over here. Check this out, we're already done. The distance is approximately 4.5 units. It's about 4.5. That's the distance between A and B. Look at, remember that line we drew? The distance between A and B is about 4.5 units, about 4.5. So today you just be working on the distance formula. Go to the Ed puzzle. I'll be in the back working on your grades and stuff. If you have any questions, you come on back. I can help you with anything. So we're already done with mission number 1. You've taken notes. Everyone's getting the R stamp. Now's the Ed puzzle time.
We take notes on that too?
Yeah, on the Ed puzzle, take notes on what it tells you to take notes. You don't have to do everything, but just do on what it says. It'll tell you what to write on your notes. Okay?
On the Ed puzzle, it's going to tell us what we do on the
on the notes.
No, on the flip ground where?
Yes. No. The Flipgrid, when you go to Flipgrid, I have a video that I made where I tell you what to say.
Sure.
Cool.